And what do you I mean, I'm with Mark. I think LeBlanc is the pick, but Lee could be a good denial.
Yeah, I was just gonna say maybe you do go with Lee because it's also Brox's best champ, and it's basically the best jungler. So
And then what are you relegating him to what then? Because they do pick up Lee, saying it's Jarvan, Olaf, Sejuani.
Sejuani?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And you want to give Jizuke the counter pick. It's what Mark wanted to see.
It's true. It's true.
I just don't like what actually counters LeBlanc with Syndra off the table though.
Lissandra?
Yeah. It's just it hasn't been played by either of these guys all split, so.
And it doesn't seem like a Jizuke.
Trundle.
Oh, Trundle.
So you're expecting LeBlanc here, last pick for Team Liquid, with the Syndra off the table?
I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Against
Jizuke
Trundle?
loves it, so.
No, I mean, you can just
so
pick
good.
it for Jensen here if you want it.
Yeah.
Really taking their
I think
time
Team
with
Liquid
this draft.
should do like Orion and play it safe. LeBlanc just doesn't make sense for them here.
It's a big team fight.
Cassio.
Team fight.
All right. So we got the late game hyper carry there, if it does go there. And now what will be the response for Jizuke?
Well, I mean, you
He's
have
got the
aggressive
LeBlanc.
mid-jungle
Exactly.
2v2, yeah.
That's. It seems like the absolute most signature pick for him. So he will pick that up, and we'll have to see if that jungle mid duo that we've called out will actually step up to the plate for either team. Really, I think that will be the challenge here. Svenskeren and Jizuke versus Broxa and Jensen. With the team comps locked in, where do you guys fall on the chances of either of these teams?
EG.
Yeah?
I like
EG?
Lee Sin LeBlanc. I think can do so much. I think you can really let them have their way in the early to mid, especially when you have Ashe hitting level 6. You can do a ton in that 3v3.
I can also see TL just having a massive scaling advantage. So if that if the LeBlanc Lee Sin doesn't pop off early, I feel like TL would kind of have it.
That's exactly what I was about to say too. I was saying that what my thing I wanted to see out of EG was more good mid jungle synergy. This is the game to basically prove that that's your main win condition. You can stomp most people in it, and then you basically punch your ticket for playoffs almost if you can take out Team Liquid here, because they're one of the teams clawing to get in. So this is a great statement game for EG if they can win.
All right, for both of these squads, it looks like they've got what they want. Let's see if they can pilot it to victory. For Crumbs, he's looking for that aggressive early mid-jungle duo for EG to take down TL. TL, they got to hold on and play it in to the late game. We are going to head to a quick 5-minute competitive integrity break. As is explained before, we're taking this 5 minutes to allow the game to play ahead to make sure that we preserve any competitive integrity issues. So we'll see you here on the other side of that 5 for the game.
So nice to have LCS back, some normalcy in our lives going on here amidst all this chaos, and it's a really important game for playoffs here. TL versus EG. TL need to win very likely 3 of their next 4 at least to make it into playoffs, so they've got to pick up wins. They still have Cloud9 coming up next week, which is going to be a really tough one, and if you're painting that as an expected loss, they have to win every other game.
Yeah, I had our stats team put together a sort of predicted win-loss. I know Jat did his individual game predictions. I asked StatSpot to do the same thing. And based on just sort of ELO predictions, TL ends the season at 7-11 in 7th place outside of playoff contention. And on the other side, EG would go 10-8, going 3-1 overall. I mean, we are in a world right now where Team Liquid, results-wise, have shown us they are not a top 6 team in the LCS. They are 4-4 with Broxa in the lineup. If you even don't include his first week with jet lag, they're still only 3-3 with him, and that means they really do need to step up and have a better result by the end of the season with 4 games to go.
They really do. It's kind of this weird thing with TL because they're the 4-time champion, back to back, and you're kind of stuck in this world where it's like, are you looking at what we expected from them at the start and what we have seen from them in the past and saying, okay, they could still do it based off that? Or are you looking purely at what they have shown us for this split? Because what they have shown us for this split has not been impressive. But if they can get back to the form that they've had over the last 2 years and really start to work with Broxa, then of course a 3-1 is possible. A 4-0 is even possible, as we've seen tons of those weeks over the past 2 years from Team Liquid.
Well, we'll see if they've got what it takes for them. Meanwhile, Evil Geniuses have been, I think, honestly, a complete delight in how the edge of their season has gone. They've actually got that same 3-3 and 4-4 run that TL have had in their last several weeks, but it's EG sitting at 7 wins. Their expected schedule is fairly easy. StatBot puts them as a 10-8 team. TL, of course, being one of those expected wins based on ELO here. And one of the, I think, great performers here is Jizuke, who is second place in First Bloods league-wide behind only Dardoch, and went 8-1-14 last week, but now we've got a gank coming to the top side. Svenskeren wants to turn that record down a little bit as he ganks up to the top side. Impact going to be slowed, and I believe is going to burn Flash, but the W is going to land. That's an easy Sonic Wave as well. First Blood, Evil Geniuses off to a great start.
And they make it look really easy, getting the Flash at Impact, taking him down. Very good start on that top side. Aatrox looking to get ahead, and in the mid lane here, Jensen does have the minion advantage, so Jizuke cannot trade too long into this wave, but Jizuke is trying to hold a bit of a freeze here and force Jensen to stick around on low mana and health, and he's going to be in a bit of a dangerous spot with Svenskeren in the area, so Broxa will come over to try to help him safely reset this wave.
This is the barrier tax. In a lot of cases, you can still do this even if you do have teleport, but if you do, if you are stuck in a spot where your lane is like this and your jungler can't come over, oftentimes you can take the reset, then burn TP and get back in a lane. That's not a big problem. With barrier, you are completely beholden to actually have good lane management, and just the fact that Trundle showed to make sure there was no gank means he was able to push that wave out, but otherwise, knowing Svenskeren was top lane, that's a very easy 2-on-1 in most cases without having a good way out. Do want to point out a milestone. Thank you, producer Arthur. Doublelift is a single kill away from 1,500 regular season LCS kills. I expect he'll get one at some point in this game, somewhere down the line. It's gonna happen, so watch out for that one.
You would hope he would get one in this game.
TL
At
fans
least one kill for a marksman player. Generally, you're having a pretty bad game if you don't even pick up a single kill as a marksman, who tend to get at least a couple.
Meanwhile, speaking of people who are getting kills, I also want to give a lot of accolades to Jensen here, who I think has actually been having one of his very best seasons. He's got by far the best laning stats. He has roughly as few, so he has like basically the least deaths of any mid laner in the league, roughly tied with Pobelter, who hasn't even played all the games. I'm not saying deaths per game, I'm saying deaths total. He's tied with the guy who hasn't played all the games for first place as far as like least deaths here. Jensen has been having an amazing year in the mid lane for TL, one of his best, and I remember hearing from him back around week 2, he was saying that it felt like he was doing everything that he could. He was putting in his best effort. He was having a good season, and it was frustrating that it wasn't enough for him. I know TL fans are a little bit sad about this. I would love to see him turn it around. I'm not just saying this so that TL fans can be sad and, to like, celebrate the downfall of TL. I would love to see them back on top form. Jensen is on top form, and the rest of the team just needs to keep up to his level.
I would say a lot of it has been about draft issues and team play issues and these things. At times, you're watching the individual players and they're looking okay. It doesn't seem like that's the big issue, as we have a gank here in the mid lane.
Beautiful ward hop in, and that's going to be a nice pickup there, but should be a trade as Broxa brings down the Ice Mallet. It's a 1-for-1 overall, but it does mean it's a slow walk back to lane with Jensen having no summoners.
That was just a great play. As soon as Jizuke hit 6, Jensen did not yet have level 6 there when he actually died, so couldn't turn around with the ultimate, just now hit 6 afterwards, and unfortunate for him, is going to actually die with the wave pushing to him. Thankfully, though, he has CS'd quite well, so he's not going to be that far behind, despite actually losing some of this, and Broxa is way up in farm over Svenskeren, will have the earlier level 6, got to pick up some of that mid lane farm.
And you can see now this game state is 400 gold apart. Evil Genius is having a pretty good start here overall. TL Not an incredibly great laning team, just across the board. They've, I think with their jungles ups and everything else, have had some really rough early games. So statistically, this is not very far from average for them. And they still managed a decent record despite several bad early games. But you can see, yeah, a lot of lanes are very, very close. Obviously, top lane is rough with the early gank. Mid lane might be a bit difficult here as well. Half HP down to Jensen. And
good block
probably
from
should not
Broxah.
follow that.
Yeah, I think if Broxah didn't actually block that, though, Jensen may have died. And now on the bot side, 2v2 fight, going pretty heavily EG favored. Ashe is a very strong laner, and despite the fact that we haven't seen much of her this year, I do think it is a champion that can match up quite well against Varus.
Yeah, she is very, very good. Got buffs fairly recently as well. Better attack reset on Q, things like this. I want to point out very, very, like, almost pixel perfect moves there by TL. Core barely got in front of the arrow, put the shield up, took the stun. He still could have blocked damage for double lift, but the fact of the matter is you still would rather have the Braum be the one who's stunned, can W back, and kind of make up for the slows and everything else. So pretty tight timing there. And it was another fight, by the way, that was EG pushing the 6 versus 5. That was the level 6 wave. They had the wave pushed down. As soon as Ashe stings 6, they go for it. And there's no chance that they have the ults to fight back. So a couple of really good plays here by EG. With the mid pressure, with the bot pressure, you get a fairly early Cloud Drake picked up there as well. Ulti cooldown, it's going to feel really good for LeBlanc and really good for Ashe. Those are champions that I think can reliably spam R to good effect, nearly on cooldown.
Yeah, it also feels nice, I think, for champions that have those really long ultimate cooldowns like Tahm Kench. The rank 1 ultimate is very, very delayed, so possibility of some more map play there for Zazely. You can see mid lane, Jizuke is really kind of zoning Jensen off a lot of this, trying to keep him back off the wave, but Jensen is not really missing farm, so the advantage is not extending. Jensen will be able to pick up most, if not all of this wave, and looking pretty good because TL, I think, for the most part, just want to play a stable early game. It is EG that have more pressure on them to make things happen. With this Lee Sin, with this LeBlanc, you're trying to push the pace in the early stages, and Cassio Trundle are just happy farming and getting experience. And thus far, TL, I think, are in a pretty comfortable spot as far as that goes.
Definitely agree. This is one of the things that I know we had talked about at least a little bit in the Week 7 cast as Kumo and Impact trade back and forth, that it felt like a lot of early game teams were the ones that were able to stack up maybe the first 1, 2, and sometimes even 3 Drakes, and that was around the timing that the better late game team would turn the corner. Provided they hadn't gotten, killed 14-0 or something, their champions would kind of catch up in power level around that 20-minute mark, and that's when you started fighting over the 3rd or 4th Drake around the chance at Soul. And if the game plays out this way, we're going to see a second Drake picked up in just about 3.5 minutes, and we'll see if kind of TL can fight back from that disadvantage once their comps come online. Right now, though, Jizuke and Zazle coming down, looking for a bit of a fight. Broxah gonna be stunned right away, and Kumo's there as well. Broxah does have flash, has burned the ult, he's still being slowed, but he's so terribly tanky now as well. Impact's gonna find Kumo on the side. Kumo can flash. Oh, and he can't get over the wall just yet. No, the E is going to be enough of Flash to follow, but Impact is now going to be a little bit alone against the rest of the squad. So is this going to be enough for him? He's going to run to the Blast Cone. He's going to get kicked away from it, though, and that was way too aggressive. Impact did not have the damage to finish off the kill against Kumo. Gives away a freebie.
Yeah, Impact way overestimated how much damage he had. He's just on tabbies, and he's flashing over the wall to try to finish off Kumo, who was still pretty high on health and does have better itemization. So Impact making a pretty big mistake there should result in EG being able to take this Rift Herald. TL clearly felt they were in a pretty good spot to actually look for the fight, but Impact wasn't with them at the start of it. Jensen roaming over a little bit late also. And as a result, TL getting pushed off, but they are trying to make a move back towards it once more.
Teleport.
TP coming in.
Okay, it is going to be a full 5-on-5 with Impact having full HP, but no flash. Good smite comes through. It's still going to be picked up, actually, by the Trundle. Great steal for Broxah. Looks like they grabbed the Herald Eye as well, and that's actually massive. That is going to turn the gold around from that last fight. It will more than equalize the money difference. We are on the patch with the rebuff turret plate gold. That's going to be really nice for Team Liquid.
That's also Broxah coming off of a really rough game against CLG where he was missing every smite, getting all of these objectives stolen away from him. So even just as far as a confidence boost, it's going to feel really good for Broxah to be able to grab that for his team.
And some wave for the mid. You saw Jensen having to play mid a bit defensively while Jizuku is pushing in, knowing he had spells up with the Ignite as well, but is able, as you mentioned, to catch up this farm. Should be about equal in CS, and we'll see when the Herald does come down. Still a 1,300 gold deficit to Weather, but TL's going to make up about a third of that without much issue just from the Herald charge. So it's not the end of the world. They are catching up. The AD carries are on very similar spikes. Doublelift does have more farm overall. Got to point that one out. He is to Blade of the Ruin King, has the extra refillable potion, which is, it exists, it's there, it matters to some degree. Impact, as we kind of talk about patch changes some more, does have more passive damage on monsters as of a couple of different Mordekaiser jungle buffs, so it gets the Krugs a bit easier, waiting between waves.
The big deal right now just is the gold difference between Kumo and Impact. That really is the gold lead right now, as he not only has a pretty sizable CS advantage, he has those 2 kills, and you can see in the itemization, he is way ahead. As EG are looking to actually threaten this dive, but it's pretty difficult to dive Mordekaiser. He can kind of just pick and choose his 1v1 and make it pretty challenging to take him down when he's by that turret.
Okay, so Doublelift and Broxah share the first 2 plates. The third one's going to go just to Doublelift here, so he's going to get rich and accelerated. Now a 3v1 depth bottom side. A lot of crowd control finally into the Death Realm, but is it going to be enough? Svenskeren can't leave turret aggro. They couldn't one-shot Impact, and he had no way of leaving turret range. So Impact, jungle die, survives the 1v3.
That was a really risky dive to go for. I do respect the attempt in saying, hey, we can actually just fully lock him down. It was the Ashe ultimate into the Lee Sin kick. But if you don't instantly kill him there, he's going to ult you, steal some of those stats back. He has the W shield that will be building up, and the turret is working in his favor that whole time. So partially due to the proximity of the Ashe, that was a very short stun. This was not a long-range Ashe arrow, and Impact able to easily take that 1v3, get himself back into the game.
A huge pickup there, and of course TL picking up the second Drake is going to delay, and honestly it feels like Team Liquid roughly have turned the corner already. Gold deficit back down below 1,000. The Drake equalizes pretty good for them here as well, and it's feeling a lot, really good for them, as we've been mentioning a couple of times. The Trundle and Cassiopeia, I think, vastly outscale their counterparts. But now Jensen puts the barrier on, is going to find some damage. A good pillar. Could they chase down Jizuke as the Lee Sin comes in as well? Jizuke finds the kill on the Jensen, the ward hop. Sorry, the just jump safeguard to the LeBlanc keeps him safe. And now Brock's got to be careful. Is pulled back. It's going to be several crowd controls. And just as I talk about TL feeling safe, a 2-for-0 to Evil Geniuses.
EG collapsed on that so quickly. Double teleport coming through. Kumo and Bang joining up with their team to pick up another kill. And TL not able to knock down anyone there. Jizuke got very, very low, and it seemed like Jensen and Broxah were confident to fight forward, or perhaps did not think that they could actually retreat out of that fight. So they commit in, end up giving up both their lives, don't even take down Jizuke, and that is going to open up more of a lead for Jizuke, who has been playing aggressively and feels like he's got to have a good game here for EG to win.
And he is. He's up CS, he's up kills, he's up by every meaningful metric you can think of here in the mid lane. Top obviously going very well also, and even though Impact turned around 1 kill on the dive, there's not really a lane that's winning, as we've seen Bang get solo turret gold in the mid lane here as well, plus those assists. I think even the AD carry gold mark is really, really close to maybe winning, and nice try by Core. I appreciate the thought. But Kumo is again able to farm down to this bottom lane and should be safe in the 1v2.
Kumo has that 30% CDR mark. Going to be feeling really good about that. Once you have enough levels in your queue, starting to put those extra points into your E, you can really start making things happen much more freely on the Aatrox. Those earlier levels are where he does tend to struggle in some of these kind of matchups, but at this point, he should be able to wave clear out no problem. And Impact just get dove.
Gosh, and that was actually almost ulti range, I thought, as well. It looked like Impact was maybe going to try to put that R down and lock Jizuke in under the turret, but still forced him away. Chunks the health bar down. There's going to be another turret picked up. One more auto till he kills it. Minis might do the rest. Let's go for one more. Gets away before Miasma can come down, and that is now 2 outer turrets cracked already. Top outer was killed by Impact a long while ago. That was actually first turret. Back at 14:45 into the game, but EG have broken top and middle themselves, and bots under pressure with a jungler backfilling for TL.
Jizuke has a pretty big experience advantage also. He was 2 levels up on impact. Jensen just hit 11, so still at least 1 full level above Jensen in that mid lane, and he is able to kind of flex that power. Has the Oblivion Orb on top of the Sork Boots and the Ludens. This is a super strong part of the game for him. You look over at TL, there is really no MR whatsoever besides this one Aegis on Core JJ, but it's tabbies across the board. It's going to be very threatening. If he can get a full combo on any of these squishy members, they can just die.
And once again, revealing where the rotations are. I love these cross-map hawk shots. Try to hit as many jungle camps as you can. Come across a lane, see, okay, we know Trundle's not in the top jungle. We know his bottom jungle is completely cleared as well. Okay, that's probably a reset. He's coming out from base. Nice snipe right there. Doublelift secures himself 80-something gold and pops off a shield at the end. Svenskeren, though, able to solo the top's Herald.
That always feels so frustrating when you're spending all that time working on the scuttle and someone just walks up and steals it. It's one of the most tilting things, I think, in League.
I totally agree, especially when you are the jungler. Like, if you actually had to run a crowd control or something, you had to, like, you know, stack up Sejuani E or something dumb, and it's like, nah, just kidding. Cross map steal, no big deal. So, okay, a little bit of money, right? It's a 150-ish transferred from one side to the other, or like in total difference rather, is 86 gold goes from one side to the other. It's Team Liquid now playing defensive wave clear. They have no lanes with pressure. Drake is up in 30 seconds. I know EG maybe kicked themselves a little bit off of the Ocean Drake they had lost off the botched bottom side dive, but they're resetting. The team's going to that side of the map. Jizuke not going to stay top side either. He's going to head his way towards that Drake as well. Oh, it resets. Jensen couldn't get the money. I don't know if he was afraid of getting attacked or not, but now Double on the way over. They're baiting a Jizuke for this one. He wants the jungle camp as it resets again. TL's going to send 4 topside, and it looks like EG might be trying to match.
Unless Jizuke commits, they shouldn't be able to get him. I do think TL were just saying, all right, we can't fight for Dragon. Let's see if we can get something on the other side of the map. So try to get a pick on Jizuke, shut him down. But Jensen now stuck in this 1v1. He's in trouble.
Ooh, Jizuke couldn't W backwards, but he never gave him an ulti line. Never gave him line of sight for that one. There is the Drake picked up. EG on 2 Drakes again. Wish they had the third off that bot lane dive, but still going to feel pretty comfortable here. 2,500 gold lead up an Infernal Drake, which is raw stats, of course. If they can keep Drake control, they can pad that as well, and it does one of the most direct things at answering scaling differences, in that LeBlanc can maybe find the one shot when she shouldn't or wouldn't have otherwise. Sarah's finally done here for Jensen. That's a nice fight coming through. We're getting close to some of those first big TL power spikes. But for now, EG has the run of the map.
Yeah, and EG are just kind of spreading the map. Jizuke really has done a good job aggressively trading, constantly looking for poke, constantly looking for plays to draw pressure and allow his team to get things done elsewhere on the map. He's maintaining this experience advantage. He's constantly darting forward and looking to attack Jensen. Forcing off that Seraph shield in their last fight is a pretty big deal. And now EG will reap the rewards of that second Rift Herald. It's going to be another tower going down on the bot side. Over a 3,000 gold lead now here for EG.
This is a very, very good lead. Props to EG for a pretty solid early game. All 3 outer turrets are gone, and you got to give them props for this one. They come into this week tied for 4th. They've, fought tooth and nail. Again, prediction has them ending at 4th place based on, stats predictions. It's been a hard season to predict, don't get me wrong. The teams have been back and forth constantly, so no guarantees that really happens, but EG are poised to make their triumphant LCS return as a top 4 spot in playoffs. And I really got to point out, if we got some downtime, 4th place is such an important seed to get in the Spring Split playoff format. There's an upper and a lower bracket, and if you get 5th or 6th, you start lower bracket. You get an extra life if you're top 4. Good smite comes in, stun's not going to matter. And now there's going to be more damage for Jizuke, knowing he can't get chased down easily, jumps backwards, and EG feeling comfortable.
Jensen chucked down pretty low. They lost the Gromp there. Jensen has just been fighting this Gromp, it feels like, for the last 5 minutes, trying to take it over and over and over.
He got it.
No, actually, I think Svenskeren got it. Didn't he smite it?
You're right. He did smite it. That's my fault. So now we got the attempt at Kumo yet again. 2v1 on the bottom side. Gonna go for some damage. Doublelift. He gets the shutdown. He gets killed number 1,500 in the LCS regular season all time. Will that be enough to make TL win a game?
Congratulations to Double Lift. Such a fixture in this scene for so long. This guy has just been winning championships wherever he went. Getting the shutdown there puts him on his Rage Blade power spike. It looks like he's working towards a Wit's End next. So full on hit style build. And if he can actually get the opportunity to stand and fire in one of these team fights, he will tear through EG. But that being said, there's no guarantees you get that opportunity with LeBlanc, zoning you potentially, and the threat of Lee Sin kicking you in and these types of things.
Yeah, it is double flat pen LeBlanc, which is a lot of why he's going with Send. The math really supports getting some MR while she's dealing true damage otherwise. And, can maybe sustain through some of that one. Does have some lifesteal, so he can stay full health with this shield over the top as well, thanks to Overheal. I expect Double Lift on his farm and his decent XP to survive most burst combos from Jizuke. We'll see, though. Has a couple of teammates nearby as well. Not quite going to catch the CC. They know that LeBlanc is too elusive. 2-level lead over Jensen. Has caught a lot of farm, a lot of experience overall, and TL have to kind of go back to their own lanes.
I wouldn't expect Double Lift to just get 100-0, but even if you get chunks, say, half your health, maybe you can't teamfight anymore, right? Unless there's a minion wave to actually lifesteal off of, that can be enough for them to get the next dragon or get the next objective that they're fighting over. And that is why Jizuke playing so aggressively and playing in the face of TL has been so important. And I really feel like over these last couple weeks, EG has been able to find this healthy balance between the aggression and the playmaking that Jizuke wants to go for without it being a bridge too far, without him having all these silly deaths that he had at times in the earlier weeks. He's still really kind of riding that line and putting on pressure, pushing TL out of their own jungle, extending his experience advantage, yet he's never really getting picked or even being threatened.
Yeah, at the very beginning of the season, he was a death leader for the league. He was, way up there. He had some solo kills. He was doing well in solo kills, but he's even worse in isolated deaths and managed to kind of keep the former while dropping the latter. It's really, really important that he's managed to your point, right, keep the aggressive play style without bleeding the stats away. And yeah, again, nothing but props and credit to Jizuke. We know Bang has been really low on deaths. He's always been a very safe backline damage dealer. And Jat talked about his play style back in his heyday, back in SKT, where he won 2 world championships. He was a supportive cast member to Faker and players like Marin, who were, arguably the best top player in the world at the time when they won that championship. And if Bang gets to, support a 3-in-1 Aatrox and Kumo and support Jizuke, who's solo killing and winning in farm against Jensen, that is Bang's comfort, and it's an EG that looks good.
It really is. And he also, to his credit, he is playing that supportive style, as you said, during some of those world championships. But once it came to the late game, once he had that farm and it was his time to really get things done, he was incredible at team fighting. One of the absolute best in the world. So it's not as though he was just riding the coattails of these other players.
No,
he just wasn't always about dominating lane. He was about farming up, getting to these power spikes, and then taking over the game at that really strong point. So it's a tried and tested play style for him. If you have those winning solo lanes, you can do that.
And so far, so good. Evil Geniuses 4-4 in their last 8 games, looking to make it 5-4, as they are pretty handily controlling Team Liquid. 3,000 gold lead remains the difference. Hasn't moved a ton in the last 4 minutes, but they have added that 3rd Drake to the repertoire. They are 5 minutes from Infernal Soul Point. It is not like the most outright sort of health difference per second of all the Drakes, I would say overall, but if you're looking at one-shots, if Jizuke is going to try to find a chunk on a double lift, it's another 200 damage over the top when he goes for it, and that sometimes can make the difference. We'll see if that does come true, but I think it will still feel good based on how this comp is running. Red buff
also just works really well for poke, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're not looking at, I'm going to 100-0 you, instead of 1 Luden's proc, you can kind of look at it like you're getting 2 Luden's procs. So at level 16 with a short cooldown on his ultimate, if he has the Infernal Soul, you just store it forward, QRQ to store it back. You're then getting the Luden's proc, you're getting your passive proc, you're getting that Infernal Soul proc. You're also adding in things like that on the volley from Ashe, and that damage can really start to add up and put TL in a position where they can't take a team fight, even if that's what their composition is built to do.
And you can see with the itemization, that is the goal, right? It's Rage Blade, double Leandries, you're getting Nashers coming out of Impact, which is good just for the CDR and AP by itself, but, you know, theoretically...
Oh, Jensen's in trouble.
Like a slightly longer fight. Jensen, yeah, takes the cube, but they're not going to follow through. Broxa and Core manage to stick around nearby, but Svenskar might try yet again. Lands the Q yet again, yet knows where the recall is coming from. He's again going to walk away safely, but it means Wolves can be taken. Jensen cannot get any of his jungle camps, has to walk back to mid lane, and guess what? Bot lane tier 2 is already under fire. EG have made this 4 straight turret kills and 2 straight Drakes on top of that one as well, not to mention the Rift Herald. There has not been any signs of life from TL. It's been sitting back and farming, which again partially is the comp, but they're running out of space pretty soon.
It's the comp, but at the same time, if the opponent's gold lead is extending constantly throughout the game, that is very concerning. If you're able to make EG stagnate and sit at this, you know, say 4,000 plus gold lead for the next 10 minutes, then great, you're in a pretty good spot. But so far, EG has just been extending it, and we'll have to see, can TL make their stand at this next dragon? Because it feels like that is where a lot of the game is going to be decided. No one is even answering Jizuke right now. TL, I think, are just going to have to YOLO it on the Baron because... yeah, they're not even responding.
No teleport on the block. Teleport going to be burned here on the Aatrox to try to get over. They at least get the one global cooldown out. Yes, they have to back out. Keep in mind, Impact is taking the wave in bottom lane. He could TP the drone, but he's not going to. Baron resets, but now there's pretty soon going to be a 5v4. Jensen gets away from the chains. LeBlanc stays in mid to shove down the wave. That means mid tier 2 could be under fire. TL cannot rotate through the jungle. They have to rotate the slow way around, and that means free attacks to the turret is going to be down to 25% by the time TL can answer. Yes, they can wave clear. Yes, the turret will live, but it's now been chunked so low that the next time EG looks at it, that turret falls and the gold lead grows. 1 minute now from this Drake coming up. Bang will not have TP. Kuma will not have TP, but Doublefin Impact will. Maybe that can be used by Team Liquid.
Jizuke has just been maintaining this 2+ level lead now. Jensen just hitting 15. Jizuke has been 17 for a while, which is a really big deal, and just no one is able to answer him in these side lanes, so TL had to try to force that Baron, get a TP, get something out of their opponents, and now they are setting up, but EG have the ability to just trade for the Baron, because they don't actually care about one individual Infernal. They're just already on this, and TL are aware, they're running over. Let's see if they can win a fight.
Bang plays a bit of crowd control, slows it down. Svenskar is still taking up the Baron. TL shoves in mid and then loses vision. They are not 100% certain exactly what's happening anymore as Kumo and Sven stay on the camp and EG show 3 mid. They show Team Liquid they have stopped Baron, but they haven't stopped Baron. It's still got some health left. It's going to take a little while to go, but they walk right back to the top side. And look at this maneuvering, evil geniuses. While Doubles is taking down the Drake to prevent Soul, the Baron will get taken under their noses. A slow from Bang, and now Broxa stunned up as well. This could be a kill picked up. He flashed away, but it's not enough. Jizuke grabs his killing spree. The Baron picked up now as well. Sure, the Drake went down, but at what cost? Evil Genius is out-macroing the mid-game and taking a huge lead over Team Liquid.
I think TL assumed that the Baron had fully reset, that everyone pulled off. So they thought, hey, we have actually a lot of time. Double, if you can solo up this dragon, but Svenskar and Kumo stayed on it the whole time. They grab a kill, they grab the Baron, and now, with no one able to answer Jizuke in a side lane, EG really have what they need to look to close out this game. This gold lead, up to 7,000 gold at this point. Turrets are going to be falling left and right.
Looking absolutely beautiful here. EG have done such a wonderful job now in this mid game. Now, they got to wait on Infernal Soul, but honestly, with the Baron buff, that's going to feel real comfortable. All the tier 2 turrets are gone. 6-0 turret run.
That's huge for EG. They really are in a great spot, but I will say they need to continue dealing damage with this Baron, because if they don't get anything more, if they're just sitting back and again, you know, allowing TL more and more time, then hey, maybe that dragon was worth something extra as it pushes TL to perhaps a possible win condition if they can grab the soul themselves. But right now, EG have multiple ways to win this game, potentially through split push with LeBlanc. They're winning actually a lot of the team fights. They have good ability to actually pick people off with the Ash Arrow as well as Lee Sin. And if anyone tries to answer Suzuki, they have a rank 2 ultimate on Tom Kench who can be used to bring someone in and create a 2v1 or a 3v1.
Yeah, they've even got answers for the Mordekaiser Trump card. You've got a combined 5 Quicksilver Sashes and or stopwatches on the squad. Jizuka, the only one without one. He's going to feel safe enough on the LeBlanc. I think he actually 1v1's impact every time, who doesn't have any magic resist at all. So pretty sure that's true. Yep. Mid now under fire. Still got 50 seconds left of the power play. Jizuke splitting to the bottom side. Kumo splitting impact at the top. The 3-on-3 and the 2 1-on-1s. And the minions themselves working well. Jizuke, jeez, that's just the RW. Puts Jensen down to 2/3.
Jensen's got to heal up off these minions, and he's trying to do so. Doublelift now has his Hurricane, so he has pretty good wave clear, but Jensen, oh, that Q, if it hit, he might have gone down. Either way, he will lose the turret. And TL, the base is cracked.
Yep, Otto's still coming through. The turrets are falling, the inhibitors are falling. Team Liquid at this point, you have to wait the last 15 seconds for Baron to time out, but it means the bottom inhib is gone. Top and middle turrets are barely alive. The minions, there really aren't any in the mid lane, but there are some top side. Those aren't really getting pushed in. So TL, at least during the Baron buff, will only lose 1 inhibitor. That's still rough. It's still an 8,000 gold deficit. But it doesn't get better from here. At this point, you've got to try to find the fight. Impact, the Q's going to land. They might kick him as well, but it only kicks him backwards, able to walk away. And Bang has to get chomped out to save. But Doublelift running out of health, trying to lifesteal, dodges the arrow, but he's running out of HP, trying to lifesteal off of something. The flash forward, the shutdown comes through for Jizuke, and they have cracked into the base. The turret's going to be gone now as well. Stopwatch burned by Core JJ, and EG still winning the fight. The poor Braum is going to drop a double kill for Jizuke. Jumps backwards, going to get pulled in almost by Mordekaiser. Still the kill comes across. The 2-for-1 so far. A quick jump back for Svenskeren, but now Team Liquid down to only 3 members. Can't really defend their base. Minions putting on the bottom side. 4 members on the top side. Triple inhib is going to fall. They don't need to wait for the Infernal Drake. They don't need to wait for anything. It's 25 seconds of 4v3. Evil Geniuses looking to have an 8th win on the season. Looking to make it into playoffs. The revival and return to the LCS. They're going to walk backwards. The pull-in's going to be really nice. Kumo has to run for dear life. Might have to get shot. There it is.
Jensen has a whole flash.
All right, will he make the play? Has to get away from the pullback. Does so, doesn't. Go for the ult flash. I wonder if TL should have tried for some kind of extra kill. Kumo was not in a spot where he could have really fought. Bang had no mana. Maybe they should have tried something. You're right.
I was thinking maybe they'll look for that miracle play. As soon as Zazel actually used the Devour on Tom Kench, I was thinking, hey, maybe you go for it because your chances of winning this game are so bad at this point. You've been triple inhibbed. It's that sole point. How do you even get out of your base to actually try to make something happen? TL will have to be extremely decisive, immediately force a fight, and dominate it. Otherwise, their base will die, they'll lose soul, or maybe even both.
Well, Doublelift now going to be stunned up. Bang is in a 1v2. TP comes in. Maybe this is a fight that can look pretty good. 3v2, theoretically, but Kumo just jumps back over the wall. Won't find much to do on the TL side. A couple of teleports traded back and forth. Honestly, to me, favors Evil Geniuses. TL locked in the base is a good thing for them. Won't quite find the kill on a Jensen. Drake has been started, and it's time to play the delay game. As Jizuke is pushing down the mid lane, someone must answer him or the game ends. Instant recall. TL sends the entire team back, and that means Dragon Soul picked up. Evil Geniuses, 40 seconds till Baron spawns. They're going to catch Core JJ. He's going to be at least slowed down. I don't think there's a way he gets away from this one.
He's looking very dead. We'll see if he can get out, but being chased down looks unlikely.
Summoner heal, couple of knockups. There we go. EG pick up the kill. And if the soul wasn't enough, a 5v4 has got to be as the minions also fled into the base. Jizuke finds the poke. Nice attempted ult by Doublelift. Can't hate the attempt, but Jizuke had the reflexes to dodge away. And now more poke comes in. Impact drops to 80%. More poke in from Bang as well. Minions going to keep flooding in towards these Nexus turrets. And how do you win a 4v5 when you're down 8,000 gold? Kumo gets pulled back into half HP. It's going to be a little bit of something for them. So waiting for the next waves to come in. Once again, TL has to find the wave for Jensen. Getting a little bit lower on mana. Has to be respectful of that pool. Running lower and lower. Pretty soon he can't even team fight. Stun's going to land on a 1 member. Turret number 1 and almost number 2. There they go. They both fall. Svenskeren jumps in. Huck back out. Once again trying to fight. Core JJ up in 3 seconds. Making a full 5-on-5. Brock's running out of health. Doublelift running away with Ignite on him. He's going to drop down to the burn. And EG will not show signs of stopping. They will start week 8 with a win. They will knock down Team Liquid going to 8-7 for now. They hold on to a top 4 spot, that all-important seed in the playoffs. Pad the KDAs. Doublelift got his single kill this game. 1,500, but it wasn't enough. Evil geniuses, Dwarf Team Liquid.
What an incredible performance from Jizuke, start to finish. It felt like this game was all about the EG mid laner. He has been improving week over week, and this guy has put on some of the best solo carry-esque performances, I feel like, of anyone in the league. Another one here where he is just constantly pressuring Jensen, constantly pressuring TL in the side lane, and it never felt like they were able to properly answer him, which gave them so many opportunities to play the map, and all the credit to them for that Baron play. I think that was brilliant. Tom Kench alting your marksman player off, making TL think, okay, the Baron's reset, we've got time, but meanwhile, jungle top lane stayed on it.
Yeah, I want to see someone tweet out that they made the 5-head play of, we're going to keep the fighters on the Baron. Let's go send the Tom Kench mid to bait it. Beautiful play. They were already winning. They probably win even without that Brainiac play, but I love seeing that. Huge kudos to EG. Well-played game. They're in prime position to make playoffs. Super happy for them. We'll see if the last three look as good as this one did, but we're stepping away to set up for Game 4, which is Dignitas versus Counter Logic Gaming, so don't go anywhere.